Lewis, going to take a look at your punting from the camp. I'm going to let the video run through twice. Normal speed the first time, slow-mo the second time, and make some more comments and some suggestions for you, buddy, to help you improve. Okay, let's get you back here in your stance. Right, kind of zooming in a little bit for you. Lewis, when you're in your stance, we want to try to get your feet aligned just underneath your armpit. So get them a little more narrow. Try to get the center of your feet right there underneath your armpits, okay? You just a little wide, just a little wide. You want your arms relaxed to the side. You want them relaxed. You don't want to have your hands there. Again, we coach punters to tell them to snap the ball to the hip thigh area right there, to the punter's leg, the hip thigh. If you're right-legged, we're trying to tell you the hip thigh area right there. We want the ball. That's the target for the snappers. So they don't need your hands to give them a target. And also, another reason coaches sometimes ask you to do that is they want you to tell the snapper and everybody you're ready. You're ready the moment the snapper puts his hands on the football. You watch that snapper. When he puts his hands on the football, your eyes are glued to that football. You're ready for him to snap that ball anytime. So you got to always be ready. Okay, and you're gonna so that eliminates the reason for you to have your arms up at all. You want your arms relaxed, just hanging down to the side. Shake your fingers, and you want to do that to keep your shoulders from getting tensed. Ray Guy himself preached that at the camp many, many times about just relaxing the shoulders, let your arms hang. When the ball comes, you reach up and catch it. So right here now, you get your feet. Oh, now you adjust that feet a little bit better. A little bit better, but you just still keep it a little, just keep it, that's as wide as you want your feet to be right there. You got to stagger in your feet, your left foot, your non-punting foot's forward, that's good. Catch the ball with the arms outstretched. You're doing 2 steps. And just so you know this, Lewis, you could also, you'll see when you watch NFL, you're going to see a lot of punters. Sometimes they'll take a little short jab with their non-punting foot. Then they'll take a full step, and punt. So you'll see a short jab. You didn't jab on your field goals, but you don't have to jab on the punts. But you'll see a lot of NFL guys doing the short jab. So that's available to you if you want to. So you're doing a 2-step right here. Once you catch the football, and right there, right where you have it, right about there, that's about the drop table. It's right below your rib cage, and right about there is about where once you catch the ball. So you've caught it right there, and you put it right here immediately. Okay, that's about your drop table. And we usually say it's just right below the rib cage. So you're really close to it. Okay. And it's not specific. It's just that's a general safe area to have it right there. It might be a little higher, it might be a little lower, but you're pretty much right there up below. So right here, as you start, now you're taking the ball down. So now you're dropping the ball. And that's we're going to come back to the grip on it, but you're dropping it, and then watch what you do. You drop it down, so you catch it there. You catch it here, you put it to the drop table, then you dip it down, and then you're bringing it. Now watch how you bring it right back to the drop table. Watch where you release it, right there. You release it a little low, but you see how what you've done here. You've gone here, you've caught the ball here, you put it here, you start, and then you dip it, and then you bring it right back up. And that's actually a toss, Lewis. See how you're lifting the ball back up, and as you're lifting it up, you're releasing it. So that's not a drop, that's a toss. And that's going to be hard to time up when you're tossing the ball, because when you drop it, if you drop it correctly, the ball maintains the speed of your body. As your body, the motion of your body, it maintains that speed, the same stride, the speed of your body as it drops to your foot. But if you toss it, you're eliminating that consistency that can be there for you. And plus, you're kind of taking the ball down. So we want to catch the ball here. Catch it, set on the table. Boom, right there. Set on the table. Now, right here at this point, you look pretty good right here. Like I said, I want it might be a little bit higher right there. But basically from the side, your arm, say your arm is right here. It's coming out holding the ball there. You want the arm from the side. You have it kind of like this. I want your upper arm more like this. And then your lower, your forearm, you have it kind of down like this, and you take it even lower. I want to keep it about parallel to the ground. Okay, so that's your arm from the side. That's why I want it. Right now, you have it kind of like this and like this. You got it kind of down a little bit. Okay, so you want to get it up there. And we say this because we want like this, because this is like we say handshaking position, like you're shaking hands with somebody. So get your right arm there. And then on this back, you're going to have take your right hand and you're going to have your hand gripping that back end of the ball. Okay, and this is just kind of giving you a quick, that'd be like your thumb on the top and your index finger on the bottom right there. But it's going to be on the side. So from the side of the football, and then you're going to have the laces right here. You look like you almost have it, but you want to have those laces, the ball angled where the laces are outside your shoulder with the nose turned in. So being a right-footed punter, as you look down at the ball, the nose of the ball is turned inward toward the left. And from your vantage point, looking down at it, the ball needs to be turned more over here. You've got it almost straight right here. You want to have it kind of turned right there. All right. So the ball turned, because you want that ball. It's going to here. If this is your foot, this is your right foot. Okay. You want that ball to land. It's going to land just kind of across the foot, where the front of the ball misses the toes and the back of the ball misses the ankle. Okay. So you want to drop that ball. This is your foot right here. So you want that ball to drop right across there, and you want the ball, you don't want the ball dropping like this. You want the ball to be flat, and then it's just going right down on the ground that way. Okay, so your ball's flat. You don't want it angling down. You want it to drop flat and across your foot, and that's what causes the spiral. So right here, and you got the ball pretty much over your leg right here. But as you start taking your steps, you take the ball, see it goes outside your body, and you've dipped it down. Now I can see all the laces. You could tell it's obvious you got the nose down. Now you do a pretty good job. That left hand comes off. You've got the timing of the left hand, but look how low you've got the ball. Now your arm's like this, and the ball's clear down here. And remember, I want it about like this, and the arm up here. And keeping that ball right around. You want to keep the ball. You want to keep the ball at about this height right here. See where you catch right here? Right about there. You want to keep the ball at that height pretty much the whole time. And like I said, it's right here, right in that general area right there. So once you catch it, you set it on the table. You catch it, set it on the table. So you take it down, and then you're dropping a really low lip. You're tossing it, and then it's making contact kind of low to the ground. And the ball, you ought to be making contact with the ball higher. And it's generally on the support knee height right there. So that you can see how low you're hitting the ball. So right here, if you just kind of a general rule of thumb, it's kind of the ball when you make contact with your right foot, your punting leg, you're going to make contact with the ball at the level of the support knee, which is your left knee right here. So right there. And you can see how low you are. Look how low. Here's your knee there. Look how low you are right there. Here's the ball right here. You can kind of see that right there. Now you got the ball kind of turned, but you can see the ball's angled down. And now when you took the ball right here, you want to keep the ball. You want to stay. Those punter shoots we had on the field, those little yellow shoot we had, you need to stay within the alignment of your body. You want to stay within the framework of your body. So right there, and you're stepping straight ahead. Punting is an exaggerated stepping pattern directly toward the target. So you're stepping right towards your target where you're punting the ball, and when you're punting a spiral. So right here, you can see right when you start, you're okay until now. Now you take it outside. Look, you got your foot, your right foot's even turned. You take it, now your ball's outside the body. So here's your body. Now look where the ball is. And it's going still further. And now when that happens, look where your foot, if you were Ray Guy, I would say you're punting this direction. Just because he was so good at stepping directly where he's going to punt the ball. But see, you're stepping there, and then this left foot's going to come across right here, and then your right foot's going to have to swing way out. See, look, it comes across, and then your right foot has to go out, and you have to swing way back to try to bring the ball back to the line. And see how wide your feet are right here? Your body's leaning, your shoulders are down, everything, and then your plant foot's over here. And I want your body to be more like this right here. Your shoulders, are square. And your body's vertical, perpendicular to the ground. You're all leaning here, and look how wide your legs are. A punt, see how close your feet are? This first step would come right to here. Your next step would be right here. And now you're in your normal walking step. When you walk, your feet are even closer together. See right here? When you start walking, your feet are closer together. And right here, when you finish, look how wide apart they are. So when you punt, your feet, as you take your stepping pattern, you want your feet just like you're walking, the same distance apart as if you're walking down the street, and you want your legs to stay that same position throughout the whole punting motion. You want your legs to stay in that same position throughout the whole punting motion. So you're taking the ball down, okay, and then you're dropping the nose. So we got to hold that ball in the back end. You just want to grip that football with that right hand where your index finger is to the right of the laces and your thumb is to the left of the laces. As you look at your right hand, right now as you're talking on the video, I'm talking to you, look at your hand, and open it up. Just open your fingers up, and then right there your thumb will be on the left and your index finger on the right, and the laces will line up right in the middle of that. So you have your right here. We'll just try to look at it right here, try to make it happen right here on this. So index finger here, your thumb's in here, and the laces right in the middle. But you got to turn that ball so it's aiming out toward outside the shoulder. And you want to keep the ball level. Right now, you got the football like this. We need to keep the ball level. You're dropping it clear like this, and you want to drop it nice and level across the foot, like I was telling you earlier. You want to drop it across the foot. Here's the foot. You want that ball to drop across the foot, and that's what causes the spiral. You're gonna hit that ball. There's the point. And there's the point. And you're going to hit the ball right in that center mass. And that way, when you compress the football, this point back here in the back will not hit the ankle. This point up here in the front will be to the left of the toe. And you'll be able to compress that ball right here on all this center mass. And with the angle of the football, that's what's going to create that spiral. So we covered all this in camp. I want you to see it on this video. You got to look at the good leg extension. Got a good plan. I mean, you're doing all kinds of good things here. Got a good leg extension. Don't bring that. You're bringing the arm across like you're soccer style kicking. This arm right here as a punter it'll stay out here. It's going to stay on the side of your body right there. Okay, you're doing a lot of good things. You just got to get this, and this is common, Lewis. This is common. Most all the punters, when we start, they're stepping to the right like this. And again, you're a soccer player, and you got to realize they're two separate disciplines. You're coming from an angle, and you're using your hips to torque and swing that leg with extra speed as you come through the ball in a field goal kick, soccer style kicks on punting. You're not doing the torque from an angle. You're just basically stepping right in the direction of your target, keeping everything within the framework of your body. So, in other words, you would be stepping straight this way, come right this way, right in this direction. Okay? Keep working at it. You made some great strides in the camp, and I know all this stuff has already clicked with you, and you're already improving. And Lewis got a little something special here for you. This is the great Ray Guy. I'm comparing you to the greatest punter ever. I've got this kind of frozen here about the same spot where you are, and just show you the obvious comparison. And so just use this as a learning tool. And again, I know I'm comparing you with the greatest ever, And but at the same time, this is a great example for you. It's old grainy footage. This is Ray in his prime back in the 1980s. But it's, you know, some rare footage that we have that I'm sharing with you. But you can look and just see the obvious right there. Look how high he has the ball, and look how he's got the alignment of it, and see how low you've got the ball right here. And your body's down. See, he's keeping that ball pretty much in the framework of his body right here. Okay, he's keeping it nice. Now he drops a little high. Ray's a real tall man, and he dropped it kind of high. But watch how his left hand comes off. See how yours is coming off. But you can see the obvious differences, and look where you're facing and where he's facing. And see, he's punting the same direction you're supposed to be punting. You can see how your body's turned. So this helps you there. Again, this is a valuable learning tool for you right here. Okay, so take advantage of this. And then watch as he releases the ball. That hand comes out. And what's the ball? Look at the ball. See when he releases it? Look how smooth it is. You cannot even see the ball adjust. Look at that. You can't even tell. Look how it's falling to his foot. And see, here's where it's falling to your foot right here. I'm going to tighten it down a little bit so you can see it. You can see you've released it. Look how low the ball is. Look at the angle the ball is. Yours nose is down. You can see the ball. You're outside your body quite a bit. Ray still maintained keeping the ball within the framework of his body. See, he's still within the framework. He's right there. Okay, you can see that. Watch how the ball goes all the way down to his foot. Look at this. Same position. See how you've lost the nose and the ball, you need to have the ball turn in like he does. I know it's a little hard to see. It's grainy, but this is rare historical footage of Ray Guy. And so this is something that, you know, take advantage of it. Look where I was telling you, look where he hits the ball. See where the foot's turned in? The ball is turned in to an angle, and he's hitting that center mass with his toe right there. And look about the elevation of it right there. Look at that support knee level, his left knee. Look where you're making contact with the ball right here. So you're below your knee. See right there? So you're driving the ball too low. Look at his body position. Look how his shoulders are nice and square. He's maintaining this vertical part here. See how your body's leaning? You can kind of see. Look how close his feet are right here. See right there where you can see right there. You can see the comparison of yours. So everything's nice and straight. Watch how he comes right up through it. Look at his left arm. It does not come across his body. See how your left arm's coming across your body? You can see the lean. You can see the big differences right here. Watch how he comes up, and he goes up and forward. Look at that straightness of form. Okay? Now right here, you're not even coming off the ground. Watch how he comes off the ground. He gets all of his momentum. In Lewis, on your field goals, remember I was telling you, you're coming off the ground more like a punt. See what I mean right here? See Ray? He's up and forward. That's a punt. On your field goals, you stay close to the ground and you skip. Your foot just barely comes. It's just at the tip of the blades of grass on a skip. But on a punt, it does this like with Ray right here. And see how he comes up and forward and finishes. Look how he finishes, nice and straight. You go up and forward. You're not coming off the ground. You do a better job coming off the ground on your field goals. So kind of translate that into your punts. Okay. And Lewis, again, I know I've got the greatest ever here comparing, so just use it as a learning thing because you got a ways to go here. But this is a great example for you to kind of watch and study, and you can you're an athlete. You got a good plant leg right here. You got your toe pointer right there. You're doing some good things. You're an athlete. Just learn from this and get these things corrected, and you're going to see great strides in your punting. Again, great job at the camp, buddy.